Please be seated. I want you to try and remember back to an experience where you were in the darkest room or building or place that you can remember. As little light as possible. Do you remember such an experience? I had one of those a number of years ago. We went out west with our children when they were 8 or 9 years old, the Grand Canyon and different places like that. And we went to a state park that had this cave that went deep down underground. And we walked down hundreds of steps, down, farther, twisting and turning. And we finally got to this cavern. And the state park ranger said, "Now, hold on to your parents, children. Parents, hold on to your kids. When I turn out the lights, you won't be able to see anything. Don't turn on your cell phones. Don't turn on your lighter. Don't do anything. Just be still." So we all grabbed our kids, and she turned out the lights. And I did this. I was sure I'd be able to see my hand, in front of my face. No. It was so dark. Couldn't see a thing. Some of you are nodding. You know what I'm talking about. You've been to places like that, right? Sometimes our lives feel like that. So dark. We just don't know what to do. A couple of weeks ago, I spoke about hope. And I said there were two things that we need to remember, two truths to remember to help us find hope in those dark times, in those times of despair. Jesus wins, in which we remember his coming again in glory, his second coming. And Jesus has won. He won the victory on the cross, defeating sin and death when he rose again. Well, I want to focus in on that second one just a little bit more briefly today. So pay attention, I'm almost done. Short sermon because of the baptism and all that. So in John chapter 8, to the Jews who had believed him, Jesus said, "If you hold to my teaching, you are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." They answered him, "We are Abraham's descendants and have never been slaves of anyone," which actually is not true. They were slaves in Egypt, right? But they forgot that during this brief exchange. "How can you say that we shall be set free?" Jesus replied, "I tell you the truth. Everyone who sins is a slave to sin. Now a slave has no permanent place in the family, but a son belongs to it forever. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." So he tells them that the truth will set you free and that the Son, him, will set you free. He is the truth. Remember, he said, "I am the way and the truth and the life." He is life. He is light, as we talked about with the flame of the candle. Light in those dark times. Remember the truth that Jesus can set you free from sin and death and darkness. And that truth can never be taken away from you. Hold on to it with all of your heart and all of your mind, because he has won the victory. Let us pray.